If you spent a day in your life and paid attention to friends and co-workers around you, you would see it, at least by now. There are people around you who are suffering with the holiday blues. It is a very real thing that brings up memories and potential dangerous thoughts during the holidays. Some people essentially retreat from the world to deal with this internal problem, trauma, or internal demons. It could be losing a loved one or hating to celebrate a holiday when you're alone. Here to talk about it with us is therapist Dr. Christine Beliard. Glad to have you on the Factor Uncensored. We know a lot of this is going around. I've been getting calls from friends and I'm like,
I know, right?
Let's talk about it.
No, it's real.
And I need to send them to you instead of coming to me. So for those who say holiday blues, that's not a real thing, your thoughts about that?
Oh, it is. I mean, if you think about it, all of us have had experiences with loss. So oftentimes with the holidays, you're used to perhaps a grandmother that used to make dinner and everybody would come, or maybe you had a recent breakup. So it already is a time where you're seeing all around you beauty and happy. I should be happy with even the ads that are on, the TV shows that are on, the movies that are on. Social media is a big one. You're seeing, okay, all my friends, they look happy. Why am I not? So I do think it's important when we think about seasonal depression, it's a real thing. And remember, we did just have daylight savings. So if you think about how you felt when that first change happens, where it's like, okay, it's dark very early, even physiologically, that's a change for us. So it is important to know.
I love that. I love the dark.
Well,
that's just
good.
me.
But for some people, it's even physiologically where you're not getting as much sun. So it could be small things like supplements. Like you may want to just add vitamin D. You may want to even get something like a sun lamp. And interestingly enough, the darker your skin is, the more vitamin D that you actually need. So it can be important.
So I'm overdosing.
So what I'm saying is,
go ahead.
me and you, we need vitamin D, which is a good thing, because that can actually change your mood. So sometimes people can even perpetuate their symptoms because they feel like, well, I should be feeling okay. Why am I feeling this way? It could just be a small change like that can help. Another thing I have to say, try not to isolate yourself. Because sometimes it can feel like, I don't feel like being around them. I don't want to go to this party. I don't want to go to that. I'll just kind of deal with this on my own. Unfortunately,
but how do you psych yourself into that? Because I know a lot of people who just won't go anywhere and don't want to be around people. So how do you psych yourself into going if that's not what you feel?
Maybe try to balance it. You may not have to go to everything, or you may want to change your boundaries. Hey, I'm going to stop by, but I'm going to leave after a little bit. But sometimes in that stopping by, you may actually see somebody that actually brightens your spirits. And just as a personal story, I felt the same way over Thanksgiving. I'm like, I just have been moving so much. I just want to stay on my own. My family was like, no, you should come. Don't overthink it, just come. When I tell you, it was so healing to go and be around people who know you, who love you. So just know you don't have to go through this alone. And also seasons change. It's seasonal depression. So don't feel like, oh, I should never feel this way. No, it's human, it's normal, but just don't sit in it. So even if you don't want to go to everything, find ways to you may do something different this year. Maybe this is the year where you're like, I'm not going to hang out with them, but there is a new person that I want to spend time with. Or I'm going to go to an event. I don't know anybody there. I went to an event recently on my own. I've never done that. When I say I had so much fun, so just maybe take yourself out of the box, but don't stay in it, because that's the biggest thing where it can perpetuate your symptoms, where now you're overthinking, which is a symptom of depression, where you're in your thoughts, you're ruminating, and then it can perpetuate to even things like wanting to harm yourself. So reach out for help. Another thing, don't do it alone. If you're like, I don't know what to do, who to call a therapist. I know it can seem like, well, that means I really have issues. No, something that can be helpful is just to be able to talk to someone who doesn't know you, who can be able to be helpful. And then I just have to say, for some people, it may be that there is some psychiatric services that can be helpful, like a medicine from your primary care doctor that can actually change how you're feeling during this season.
All right. Dr. Christine Beliard, you're so positive tonight.
Yes. Thanks for having me.
Glad to have you.
Yes.